And in 8 weeks, if you take a class and it's 3 hours a week, and maybe they give you a little homework, they make you watch comedy, whatever, guess what? I don't want you to pay $10,000 for a comedy class. I don't give a fuck if fucking Chappelle's teaching it with Phyllis Diller and fucking, and Jerry Seinfeld. I'm not paying you $10,000. But I will give you a couple hundred if I'm serious about this career. Because if I take one thing from the class, they're going to teach 8 weeks. And that's 8 things you should take from the class. But forget about that. If I could take one thing from the class, it was worth my money. If I take that and apply it to the rest of my career, that thing that he talked about, it's worth it. And then as you grow in whatever field you're picking, I can't imagine being like a mediocre guitar player and a band picks you up, okay? And you're like, I watched the Motley Crue movie again the other night. I couldn't sleep one night. That's one of my favorite rock movies. And they had that original guitarist at first. And then Mick came in and threw the guy out. I don't know if it's a real story or not. But I bet that happens a lot. Where a guy comes in, he's a medium guitar player. If you got a cool lead, he'll take you under his wing. I always think about like the guy from Journey. He was 16 in a band. Neil Schon was in somebody's band at 16. Yeah. Santana, he was in somebody's band at 16. 16! 16, I'm going to give you a shot. But I guarantee if I take a 16-year-old into my band, I'm going to school that motherfucker. And he's going to get schooled by the bass player. He's going to get schooled by the drummer. He's going to take one thing from that band. Even, it just, I think about those things. There was, little Stevie Winwood. When he sang with Traffic, I think it was Traffic, dun, 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 dun. Not Traffic, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, Traffic, doesn't matter. He was 16, little Stevie Winwood. 15, 14, Stevie Wonder was little Stevie Wonder. When you go into those places, everything gets removed. You're not a kid no more. You're one of me. We're not kids, and I'm not an old man. You gravitated to me because I'm an old man, but we're an equal. And I will take you under my wing, and you see it all the time when you watch old live concert videos. You see guitarists looking at each other and they wink or whatever. Take a breather. I know you can't play this lead. I'll take it over.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But do you think maybe to take it back to like the Army thing, maybe that's why some people aren't signing up for it? Like there are a lot more options now. Like maybe people who are going to join the Army are doing UFC stuff now. Like there's but there is something that you could, everyone could find something that, they're passionate about.
Listen, the Army isn't for everybody, and I wasn't saying it like that.
I know that, but
I'm just saying in today's world that the Army's light. It's not a bad idea to join if you're young and you have nothing going on. I think this. Listen, I failed at 20 things early on. I wasn't good at any of it, but let's get down to basics here. Eventually, I found it. I lucked out. I was one of the very fortunate that I found what I loved, and I pursued it for as long as I could. Just because you don't join the Army or go to college doesn't mean you're going to fail. I never said that.
No.
I've never said that in my life. You're not going to fail. But I'd rather you be a little bit more prepared. You might start as a roofer, work yourself up to a fucking team captain, the head roofer, 6 years, and now the world's the limit. And I saw that with the car business. I saw people walk in from the car business from working at McDonald's. And they just got a niche for selling. They did it professionally. And they make 6 figures a year with no high school diploma. And they build on that. Anything can be done, bro. You control your own fucking destiny. If you want to eat dog food, you eat dog food. If you want to eat lobster tails, you eat lobster tails. It's all your decision what the fuck you want to do. I mean, it really is. It's you saying, how much of this shit can I take?
And how far, how much you're willing to try. Because do you think sometimes, if people don't find, I'm not saying everyone's going to find it, but if someone's stuck, if someone's listening to or watching this and feels stuck, are they not trying? Did they not try enough?
You fucking start every day. I quit snorting coke in 2007, but I started in 2003. So for 4 years, that's the last time I'm going to do blow. I'm going to go the right way. I'm going to do this. It was just verbal diarrhea. And I knew it. You don't think I knew it? I was saying it. You knew I knew it, guys. But, again, we're back to the situation of how many times can you get kicked in the balls? How many times can you end up homeless? How many times can you end up in jail? How many times do you end up doing... What's the definition of insanity?
Doing something over and over again, yeah. Expecting different results.
Right there. After the third strike, you're like, I got to figure it out. And trust me, I've stuck around for 9 strikes. I've stuck around for deep failure. But how long? That's what you say to yourself. You know what, man? I can't eat another potato sandwich. It's time for me to get a fucking job and get my life together. You know what? I shouldn't be sleeping in my sister's basement. You know, it's time for me to get a fucking job. You know, yeah, there's tons of rehabs you can go to get help. No better rehab than you fucking waking up in a hospital room. You know, Nicky Six, OD, died, brought him back, went home and shot up again. And that time passed out, blood came out of his arm. He woke up and he goes, no, I'm going to fucking rehab with the rest of Motley Crue. And they went on to do like 2 or 3 great fucking albums after he killed the fucking guy in the guitar. You know, whatever, the singer from whatever the fucking name is. I get all emotional here. But it's true. It's how long am I going to continue to take this? How long am I going to continue to wake up every morning with no money in my pocket because I spent every dime on cocaine last night? And now I got to tell Terry that the check got lost, that they're going to send me another check. After a while, she's going to go, Joey, how many checks are you going to lose? That's why after a year of dating her, she started going to the gigs with me. And she would take the check from the promoter. Because she's like, these checks don't make it home.
Right.
Do you understand me? So how many times, it's up to you on how many times you're going to tolerate this lifestyle before you go, you know what? I'm moving on to the next fucking avenue. She's going, he's going, the dog is going, my mother's going, I'm going for it. That's what motivates, that's what got it to me. It wasn't a specific word. It wasn't a specific fucking situation. It was, how long can you sleep on this fucking stinky pillow? You know, I used to have a blanket I bought in 1984. I bought it at Walmart for $20. It was like a tiger. That it was the same blanket that I lit the guy on fire, the homeless guy. It was like polyester or something. You could tell those blankets, you're like, man, if somebody smokes a joint, I'm busting into flames. I bought that fucking blanket in 1984. I had that blanket on the road. I had that blanket till 1998.
Jesus.
And that was the only blanket I had. And it smelled so bad, guys.
You wouldn't wash it?
I'd wash it once a year. I didn't even know you washed a fucking blanket. I didn't even know where to start. But I remember that blanket being in the back of my car when I was living in my car. Before my apartment got towed, my nice little condo.
That's when you lost the blanket?
That's when I lost that blanket. I thought about that blanket a couple nights ago. I still remember going, when am I going to get my life? I still remember sleeping with that blanket on Vista, having that blanket over me in the front of a car with the sunroof up and jerking off. You know how many times I jerked off on that blanket? That's why it smelled. Because there must have been 1,000 ghosts in that fucking blanket. It was just a ghost, but it smelled like cum. Cum, sweat, reefer.
A little crunchy.
And I still remember jerking off in that blanket and coming in it and going like, how many times can I come on this blanket? Like this blanket, this tiger should be pregnant by now. How many fucking, like when am I going to get a new fucking blanket?
98.
And that's when the car got towed and I ended up getting a new blanket. But my point is that it's shit like that. That's the shit that you should, you know. And then I'll tell you what really bothers me. It's when you fuck yourself over is one thing. But you really got to get your life together when you start carrying over to somebody else's life.
And you're fucking over their life?
Like when I first met Terry. And we'll get to that situation some other time. You know, because you care about that person. And now you're like, I can't do that to that. Like when I met Terry, I made a decision. I can't carry her over into my problems. She can't handle it. She's not from that school. She doesn't understand that. And I remember a friend of mine came on one day and accused me of robbing his watch. And he fucking woke us up. And I'm like, you come to my house for this shit? He was a good friend of mine. I'm like, you come here to him. He didn't like that I had a girlfriend and he didn't. And he didn't like that I was rocking and rolling with comedy. and he wasn't. So he to like take me down. He came over. I stopped talking to that idiot. He found the watch.
Of course.
He accused me of it, and then he started worrying. I'm like, dog, I think your watch was missing. Oh, I found it in the toilet. I'm sorry, but you never apologized to me. You fucking loser motherfucker. He's somewhere in Idaho now telling people he's a producer. He's still fuck him. But yeah, you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
And that guy coming over and Terry seeing that helped you realize?
Yeah, I couldn't have her in my life. There was a time when every afternoon, about 1 o'clock, 3 times a week, I would hit Terry up and go, hey, can you put $20 in my ATM account? I have $8 in there and I want to get a bag of reefer for $20. How many times I did that? A wife, a girl. No, she wasn't even my wife at the time. She was a girl I was dating. You know how many times I did that? How many times can you do that before you go, it's time I got to get it fucking together? I'm asking my girlfriend for $20 for weed. I'm from the old school. I'll give you money to eat. I'll pay for your rent. I'll put gas in your car, but I shouldn't be paying for your luxuries. I should never be paying for your luxuries. That's where you come in. If I take the time to cover your rent and, bro, you can eat here, do whatever you want, but I can't start giving you money for cocaine. Now you're fucking with me now. Now you're bringing me into this. So that's when it becomes a problem, and that's when you got to go, you know what? It's time to fucking strengthen my game, and I got to do something with my fucking life.
And what do you think, to close it out, like, what do you think was that final straw? Or did you have a bunch of final straws that, like, made you switch?
A bunch of them. Yeah, I was doing movies, and I was doing spots, and I was opening up for Rogan, but I wasn't fulfilled. Because I was doing coke, and I just couldn't reach my potential. No, I wasn't fulfilled. I was sick of that. I was sick of being I was sick of not having the ability to earn money. Because after a while, I stopped. Listen, in L.A., whenever I got into a bind, I sold an 8-ball. I sold a couple 8-balls. I knew some guys that were always looking. I'd set them up during the week. Hey, man, you got to try this coke, So I could always make a living. But then came a decision I couldn't do that no more.
Right.
And I stopped doing that. I still remember selling a pound of weed to an agent from Acme Agency. He was my theatrical agent. And I'll never forget selling the pound of weed and leaving there and going, one of the cops going to pull me over. Like, that's an undercover cop. But I needed the $200. Like, I really needed that $200 fucking dollars. And I just decided I couldn't do all those things no more. That was it. I was getting to a different age. I'm rocking and rolling. I'm friends with Joe. I'm friends with these other people, and they're going to see my name in the paper for selling a pound of weed to fucking an agent. I need that in my fucking life? No.
Right.
Let's scrap it down. Let's start from the scratch. Let's work this a little harder. There was a point I quit stand-up. 2009, I quit stand-up.
For how long?
6 months.
Wow.
I was like, I'm just going to work when Greg Garcia calls me or one of my friends call me. I'll open up for Joe, but I'll get a job selling cars. And then I failed the drug test. So
they brought you back in.
Then the podcast thing came in.
Yeah, no.
And once the podcast world came in, I had a little bit more hope because I could tell my story.
And that, what is blowing my mind right now is just like, because you think there's going to be like one rock bottom or one decision, but it doesn't sound like there is. It sounds like there's like one decision that gets you this far, and then you have to make another decision, and like it's just like it's a lot of small ones, which is frustrating because you think like I'm so close maybe.
You always are that close, and it's just a decision away. Think about it. You're always that close. It's just a decision away. You're always that close. It's just tightening that one screw. Oh, fuck, I did that, Holy shit, I didn't look at it from that perspective. Maybe walking away from it and attacking it back. Like, I walked away from jiu-jitsu for 2 years. And I go, if I do this again, this is how I'm going to have to do it. I got to do it like this. I got to do it this way, do it this way. I got to lift weights. I got to eat this way. I got to sleep this way. So it gave me a chance. You never really fail. I never talked about backing up, looking at something and attacking it from a different direction. But you got to make me a promise that you attack it and go to that direction. People take a break from things to fall back in love with things from time to time. So,
yeah.
That's basically it, motherfuckers. We gave you a little, I know it's a holiday today. Not a lot is going on, but Lee came. It's my 60th birthday. Uncle Mike's here.
Happy birthday.
We're making it happen. Show them those fucking shrooms to these fucking savages. Oh, shit. Look what's back for today. I mean, we ate a bunch of them over the weekend. We went bowling last night, but we're going to eat some more. I told Mike's like, let's do the podcast Monday. I go, Mike, these ain't going to last. Get your ass up here. I want you to get a taste of this shit. Silly's chocolate, fucking tremendous, guys. I got a bunch sent to me, so we got a little party going for a few days. And that's it, and that's that, guys. Another fun-filled Monday podcast with my man Lee Syatt on my 60th birthday, at least celebrating the birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, guys. I love you. Stay black.